What's up guys, DJ Mike James coming at you again. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about my ProX XF Mesa MK2 DJ booth, which I have sitting here behind me. And I'm going to go ahead and get this thing set up for you guys in real time. You know, I figured a few things out about mine so I can keep my top on and all that stuff, and it goes up real quick. So we're going to talk about that here in just a second. So I'm going to set my booth up for you guys because I am going to talk. I've been kind of pondering doing a secondary package because I do run my other ProX open-ended trussing. But again, that would be in my most expensive package. So I'm considering a middle-of-the-road package, and I've been considering the ProX XF Mesa Truss. And let me get my booth set up here, and I'm going to talk to you guys about that real quick. If you look in here, I picked up a little stool from Walmart, and that thing comes in super handy. My ProX Scrims, of course you get white and black, and then I have a bunch of other ones that I ordered, well, two other ones that I've ordered. But as I get my booth out, let me show you guys just how easy this is to set up. Of course, I turn it around because of the way that I am in here. I'm telling you guys, it does not get easier than that. My booth is pretty much set up. I've got to wiggle my tabletop off. This is all bolted up. So you guys saw my last video about my ProX booth. Your mouse will not work on this tabletop, which is why I have a self-adhesive foam on here so that my mouse will work. And then I always set mine on my top setting, my top bar, because it works out pretty nice. And as you can see, I'll squeeze it through here. And she is set up, ready to go. That is super fast. I don't know if there's another booth out there that you can set up as quickly as this. I am going to get a scrim on here for you guys. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my Halloween decorations and how I got those on there, and what we actually used to get them to stay onto the scrims. I brought them with me. I'm going to get a scrim on here, but I do want to take some measurements. A lot of people are kind of wondering, you know, the size of this booth, and I'm going to tell you my tabletop from end to end, 57, almost 58 inches by 20, almost 25 inch depth on this with the scrim height. Before it gets to my top panel, I just want to show you guys 43 inches tall, and she is, hook that on there, 55 inches wide. So that is an impressive booth. Like I said, it'll hold a couple 100 pounds. I know when they demoed these things, they had some guys standing up here on these, so they are super durable, super strong. I'm gonna get a scrim on this one real quick, and we'll talk about a couple things here in a second. All right, so let's get a scrim on here. I'm gonna use my white one. I gotta say, there is a huge difference. Of course, your string sides go to the top. This is a real simple procedure here. I know you guys have seen me do this in my videos a bunch of times, but I haven't really gone through it with you. There's a couple of things as far as the scrims go, because I did buy aftermarket scrims, but I gotta tell you, the original scrims that come with are way better quality. Your tie downs are way better, and I'll show you the difference. These are like stretchy, so they tie down real nice. Let me get the corners done here. Get them hooked. And of course, this was the scrim that I used at the Halloween party. And I'll come back here and tie these off. It is way nicer to have these higher quality tie downs. And I'll show you what I did on one of my other scrims too, because I used that one quite a bit. I ended up putting some Velcro straps on those to make them easier to tie them down on the corners, because the tie downs on the aftermarket ones aren't as good as the originals, and do some shoot around here and I'll show you some other things. About the difference in the quality of the ProX scrims. Like I said, this is my boombox one. I know you guys have seen me. I use this one at the bars and sometimes at weddings. I mean, if people, you know, if they really want to have a super fun wedding, this will be the top of the thing. And I kind of want to show you the difference in these tie downs. So if you look at these are like, they're real thin. They're not as long, which makes it a little more difficult to tie these off, because if you look at the difference in how long these are as opposed to, look at the difference in the quality of that. And now keep in mind, these scrims are about 130 bucks a piece, the extra ones, and I'm pretty sure these are too, but the quality is just, I mean, it's still a good scrim, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say that, but this is what you're using to try to tie it down on the aftermarket scrim, the ones that they make, as opposed to your original ones. And these are nice and they're flexible and they're super easy, you know, to get these tied down and secured. And so I was kind of wondering, you know, as I was, you know, like I said, when I worked the bars and things like that, I'm always using these, and they're really hard, you know, to try to get them to wrap around and tie down, because one, they're so short, and two, the quality of them is not as good. So what I ended up doing was this. So I have mine tied off, and then I put a Velcro clamp around it, or a strip, so that when I put it around there, I can just zip it down there, tie it on, and I'm not fighting these puny little strings to get this thing tied off. So another thing too about these, this is my Mr. and Mrs. scrim. You can see the heart patterns in here and stuff. And I, you know, to keep these nice and clean and fresh, I ended up putting them in these gallon Ziploc bags. But that's another thing, you know, as far as ProX goes, when you get your original scrim, your white and your black, it gives you the ProX bag. And I'm going to show you that because it's super high quality. These are the ones that came with it. High quality bag. I mean, maybe I can fit 2 scrims in a bag, but when you order the aftermarket ones, you don't get a bag with them. You got to figure out another way. So, I mean, again, with me, I just use gallon Ziploc bags to try to keep these nice and fresh, and I usually just throw them in my booth bag, and the booth bag's really high quality also. But that's another thing. So when you buy an aftermarket scrim, it will not come with the bag. So just as an update, like I said, I do keep my, you know, my specialty scrims in these 1 gallon bags, and I just found out they will actually both fit into one of my ProX bags. So that actually is going to work out pretty nice. I have 4 scrims. I'll put the white and the black ones in the other bag, and that way I only got the 2 bags. Next I'm going to talk to you guys about the Halloween decorations, and not so much like how we made them, because I did shoot a video about that, about sketching them out and all that, but more so how I got them mounted onto my scrim. So give me just a second and I'll get into that, and I'm going to show you guys how I did that. Like I said, there is a need for holiday, like for these holiday scrims, and like I said, I've messaged these guys over and over and over again about, you know, put me in touch with whoever's in charge of design, because again, I do buy the scrims. I like having them for, you know, Halloween, Christmas, New Year's Eve, whatever the event, 4th of July, whatever it is that you may be DJing, you know, to be able to purchase something that's going to identify with that holiday and show that on your booth, and you know, and all of those things, which is why I ended up having to make some stuff. So if anyone out there is listening, get with me. I mean, if you have the ability to print scrims or any of that stuff, I got a lot of ideas. I think these things will sell really well. It's just we need somebody to start making them for us. All right guys, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about like the Halloween decoration stuff that I've done for that Halloween dance party. Of course, our zombie hands, which this is an awesome effect at the bottom of our totems. The Rockville RTP32s are not the standard size totem, which are, I believe they're 12 by 12. If you're using 2-inch Global Truss or Cedar's Link or ProX Trussing, I think they're all 2-inch and they'll be 12 by 12 by 12. However, the Rockvilles, the RTP32s are like 7.5 by 9 or something. And so as you'll see on here, what I ended up doing was using one of my wire tie strips because I get the extra long ones. And with this being this felt, all we really had to do was we pull them around. You can see it's already in the shape of my truss for the most part, and then we just Velcroed them together, which that would be the shape of my trussing right there with that part centered. And again, it'll center itself as we pull it around, and we can tighten it up and get it, you know, sucked up onto the. You can see we did an iron-on backing on top of a felt cloth with Velcro strips to go ahead and pull that thing nice and tight. And that looked, I mean, if you saw the video, it looked amazing. So we were both really happy with that as far as, you know, how that all turned out. And as you see, this sort of just marries up where we kind of cut those all out by hand, and then I can just tape it down to itself. Those are stored, ready to go for next year. Now the other side, when we put the castles and the pumpkin face on our scrim on the front, what we ended up doing was we went to Walmart and we got their heavy duty magnet strips, and you can see these all break down in little strips. They're self-adhesive, so one's stuck onto the eye itself, and then the other, the sister part of it is gonna magnet it through the scrim. And I'm gonna show you guys real quick. If I just hold this one right here, I can feel where my magnet is, and I can just magnet it right on. And I'll go ahead and set the other one. Of course, I'm just doing this kind of generically, just so you can see how I've done it. Of course, it's November now, but, and they'll just stay wherever I put them, which is a super cool effect. I mean, obviously I don't have them set where I normally would or what have you. More than likely next year I'll put them on, I'll make some bigger eyes and a bigger nose piece, because I kind of made those really small. It looks sort of like a haunted Kool-Aid man, but it really looked good. Like I said, the kids enjoyed it. They were all taking pictures in front of it. In fact, we're glad that we did do it, because it was the only Halloween decoration that were brought there, because I guess they were just using my setup and my lights and all that stuff, counting as decorating for the event, which was fine with us because we put a lot of time and effort into, you know, making this stuff, and it came out actually pretty decent. So just to kind of show you guys how we had done that and how we got them to stick through there, the magnet just sticks right through the scrim, and we can set those anywhere we want. We stick the magnets back on them. The mouthpiece was the same way. The nose was the same way. Plus our little ghosts and our castles, they all went on our strips. It's a great idea, you know what I mean? Like I said, there is a need. I mean, there's a need. I'm doing junior high parties, I'm doing this, I'm doing that for these specialized scrims that I've been begging for them, I've been asking for them. Nobody's kind of coming through and making these things for us, so we just decided to make this stuff ourselves. Again, like I told you in my last video, the easier that your designs are, the better off you're going to be, because these do get kind of complicated, cutting out super complicated patterns, and you know, especially like the zombie hands. I mean, there's a lot of time and energy and effort went into to make these look as good as they do, and to thank my beautiful wife for getting that done. I mean, we both did them, but like I said, she did a really awesome job, and so good ideas. I got some ideas for Christmas. I got the Christmas party coming up at the same junior high, and we're doing The Grinch Is Still Christmas and Max. We've already got the cutouts
Alright guys, so I mean, I hope this video kind of helped you guys as far as like understanding how we had mounted our decorations and stuff. And also, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love my ProX booth. I love it. A few minor complaints about, you know, tie downs and the thickness of scrims, and you know, the availability of some, you know, of holiday-based scrimming and stuff like that, because I got a feeling that ProX is sort of moving ahead into these standalone DJ, you know, podium type systems. But I love this system, and I don't see myself transitioning to a standalone podium where you know, whereas I can scrim my booth and uplight it, and it's just a really awesome effect. So again, like I said, love this booth. Few minor, you know, minor stuff, so I don't want anyone to get the wrong impression as far as like, you know, I'm complaining about the ProX product itself, because I'm absolutely not. But make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. If there's anything else you want me to go over as far as this particular booth, this is the one that I own. I use it everywhere, the bars, the weddings, birthdays, school dances, all of that stuff. You know, hit me up in the comments, and I'll...
No, there ain't no stopping us. Fly without boarding pass.